All right, guys, Beowulf 17. Finn released a few of his soldiers, allowed them to return to their distant towns and estates. Hengist lived the whole stormy winter through, there with Finn, whom he hated, but his heart lived in Denmark, which he and the other survivors could not visit, could not sail to, as long as the wind-whipped sea crashed and whirled, or while winter's cold hands froze the water hard, tied it in icy knots. They would wait for the new year, for spring to come following the sun, mounting the old year away and reopening the ocean. Winter was over, the earth grew lovely, and the Hengest dreamed of his home, or Hengest dreamed of his home, but revenge came first, settling his bitter feud with Finn, whose bloody sword he could never forget. He planned, he waited, wove plans and waited. Then a Danish warrior dropped the sword in his lap, a weapon Finn and his men remembered and feared, and the time had come. Hengest rose, hearing the Danes murmur, and drove his new sword into Finn's belly, butchering that king under his own roof. And the Danes rose, their hearts full of Finn's treachery, and the misery he'd brought them, their sword arms restless and eager. The hall they'd shared with their enemies ran red with enemy blood, and bodies rolled on the floor beside Finn. They took the queen, looted everything they could find that belonged to her dead husband, loaded their ship with rings, necklaces, shining jewels, wonderfully worked, and sailed, bringing treasure and a willing captive to the land she'd left and had longed for, alone no longer. The singer finished his song, his listeners laughed and drank their pleasure loud in that hall. The cup-bearers hurried with their sparkling vessels, and then the queen, Waltho, wearing her bright crown, appeared among them, came to Hrothgar and Hrothulf, his nephew, seated peacefully together, their friendship and Hrothulf's good faith still unbroken. And Unferth sat at Hrothgar's feet. Everyone trusted him, believed in his courage, although he'd spilled his relative's blood. Then Waltho spoke. Accept this cup, my lord and king. May happiness come to the Danes' great ring giver. May the Geats receive mild words from your mouth, words they have earned. Let gifts flow freely from your open hands. Treasures your armies have brought you from all over the world. I have heard that the greatest of the Geats now resists in your heart like a son. Talking about Beowulf. Herat stands purged, restored by his strength. Celebrate his courage, rejoice and be generous while a kingdom sits in your palm, a people in power that death will steal. But your sons will be safe, sheltered in Hrothulf's gracious protection, if fate takes their father while Hrothulf is alive. I know your nephew's kindness. I know he'll repay in kind the goodness you have shown him. Support your two young sons as you and I sustained him in his own early days, his father dead and he but a boy. Then she walked to the bench where Rethric and Rothmund, her two sons, sat together. Beowulf, prince of the Geats, was seated between them. Crossing the hall, she sat quietly at their side. So Waltho's the wife. Then Waltho spoke. She spoke. And she's telling her husband, like, if you die, you know that your nephew, Rothos, yeah.